everyone's doing well today. For today's TES Talks, we have Om Malviya, Director of Tezos India Foundation, as well as myself, William McKenzie, and Kenneth Garofalo of Tezos Commons as your co-host. Guys, how's everything going? Bit of turbulence here today, too.
Doing well, and turbulence here today, turbulence in the elections. It's quite an exciting time to be alive. Right, Om?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so many things are happening, around the world, and even in the blockchain industry as well. So yeah, definitely very excited.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get started with your background, Om. Maybe you can tell everyone not so much about your journey into Tezos, but more a bit about you, maybe your education, and just yourself in general.
Sure. Thanks for first of all, TS Commons for organizing this session and having me. Really excited. I was really excited for this. So, as you introduced, I'm Om Malviya. My background is in software engineering. I'm a software engineer, Bachelor of Technology, and I got into blockchain, this technology, around five to 6 years ago, when I was, like everybody else, I stumbled upon Bitcoin, and I wanted to dive deeper, did the same things. But around that time in India, there was not a lot of awareness, and not a lot of education was here, and a lot of scams were happening. There was no volumes and stuff like that. There was only one, I guess, Bitcoin exchange, and people were not really that aware. So first thing that came to my mind was, that people should be aware about this technology and how these things work, and how Bitcoin is not, let's say, some terrorism money, or the general notion that used to be around. So I started writing a blog where I used to write all the information about how blockchain works and how Bitcoin works. It was totally about Bitcoin and the current projects that were available back in 2016-17. And I started my journey in blockchain with that blog. Before that blog, I was exploring different sectors. Like I had also started an entertainment blog where I used to I would have a team, and they used to write some contents like BuzzFeed, or something similar to BuzzFeed. And during that time, I stumbled upon Bitcoin, and I thought, okay, I already been doing this blogging, digital marketing, content distribution and stuff like that. And I was also in tech, so I was building websites and stuff by myself. I started this blog. So first thing, it was purely out of passion, and I wanted to have. These were first of the early efforts that in India, I was doing these kind of efforts. Some other people were doing other efforts like organizing meetups and stuff like that. And then we formed a blockchain community, and we started this my blog that went to become go-to point for Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, or anything related to that. And then came 2017 boom, so it was all the entire wave of going into cryptocurrency, and this blockchain industry came about. There was also about the same time when this when this ICO was done, and during that ICO, it was the first time, because I was writing blogs, I was studying all the white papers, and following all the technological development that was happening in this space, and I found Tezos to be very exciting. So yeah, definitely before Tezos, I had been building India's first cryptocurrency and blockchain knowledge platform. It's blockchain.com. Before that, I had done my bachelor's of technology in software engineering, and I was doing I was exploring various sectors instead of treading a traditional path to take a job in some software development company.
Yeah, and I mean, that seems like a very similar story. So a background in computer sciences and more technical learning, and then a natural progression into the blog, and then you started creating products and communities around Bitcoin. And then you said the 2017 boom came. And I know that boom was spawned by a lot of ICOs. So I'm actually interested, what led you to be so attractive to specifically Tezos, and then to build your projects around Tezos? If you just could dive into that a little bit.
Definitely, I would love to. So I stumbled upon the Theos white paper. I also wrote couple of blogs about the Theos, my views at the time. And then I wanted to explore, something on the product and ecosystem side. So I got selected into this Draper University program. So I wanted to know what's happening around the world, what's happening in Silicon Valley, or what's happening in, let's say, Southeast Asia. So I went there and I met a lot of people from like 25 plus countries. And Tim also got a chance to interact with Tim Draper, who is a big believer of Bitcoin and Tezos. And so that's where I also met my co-founder Bernd Ostrom, and it was that was the time when we reignited we both had interest in Tezos, but we both had interest in Tezos. We were following I was following like once in a month or something like that. But then I got someone I could talk to about why Tezos is unique, and it's such a novel software. And then we thought, that program was about matchmaking of co-founders and having to build your own ideas around blockchain or any industry in general. So that's where we both came up with a project this year, and we thought, okay, we are going to be building this on Tezos just out of pure passion for this project, and the synergy and the vibe we had together, that okay, this project is going to do really good in coming times. And we both had our own philosophies. And since then, after that, I also got to build my network there. So then it was also around the time in 2018, I guess. I got in touch with some people at Tezos Commons and foundation and all the people around the world, the Tezos community. And I just kept diving deeper and deeper and deeper. And and the Tezos India came into picture around, I would say, September 2019. But I had this idea to start Tezos India in July 2019 because that was the time when the blockchain ecosystem in India was about to burst. It's also growing immensely. And there was not, there used to be some Ethereum development teams, but there was not something specific support for, individual developers or startups, or let's say companies, or just, any individual developer or universities who wants to explore any blockchain. And I saw that, okay, if we set, a dedicated Tezos hub here in India, which, cater to Indian audience and, promote Tezos here and Tezos ecosystem, and we educate them, we train them, and we do all the developer activities. We help startups and everyone. It would be a really cool idea. And I think that Tezos India was the first, you could say, a blockchain protocol which set its hub in India and which is still there. And after that, many protocols are also following the same suit, having seen us and the entire ecosystem itself in India, how fast it is growing. So that's how Tezos India started. And we went we went with this idea to foundation and, the people in the community, and everybody was really excited that, okay, India is a really good industry. It has its own blockchain energy and own blockchain culture here. So it would be really cool to have it, Tezos hub here in India.
Yeah, that's some exciting stuff, but I guess we can go ahead and move on to just more general Tezos topics. As of late, there's been a lot of news. We have the recent announcement of Luke and Kiefer's stablecoin project, and obviously Delphi reaching quorum, so that's about to be activated. Is there anything currently that excites you that you're maybe looking forward to the most within Tezos right now?
So I was looking forward to Dexter a lot. That is out there now, and currently I'm also looking forward. Delphi is a really good update. So even before starting fellowship, where we are going to talk about it, there were some complex projects where some gas exhaustion issues were coming, but they were all on testnet, and Delphi testnet came on the right time and right place, and all of those issues were gone overnight. So I got to see the efficiency of this proposal and how important it is for the community and all the developers around the world in general. So Delphi is something I'm very excited about. Second, the stablecoin, definitely. I mean, these are the DeFi primitives or DeFi building blocks, such as decentralized exchange, stablecoin, prediction markets. These kind of projects. These are what builds the entire decentralized finance structure on top of Tezos. So these two definitely. I mean, most of the people are excited about. I'm also excited about these. Other than that, I'm also really excited about the Tenderbake implementation, which is, I think it will it's one or two proposals far. But recently I saw the Arthur's tweet, and I got to see some information or read some stuff. It's also a very exciting implementation, given how it is done in Tezos way. That is also something I'm excited about. And yeah, the upcoming proposal after Delphi, stateful banking accounts and settling. So I mean, there is no reason to not be excited about all these exciting things which are coming. So it's really hard to pick it up. But if we talk about current things that I'm really using a lot these days, and I'm playing around. I play around with Thenos a lot. A lot of people have built this amazing applications on testnet, or we have also built some. So I love my experience with Thenos. I love my experience with Dexter as well. I've tried it. So when you see this quality of projects that are coming up on Tezos right now, you just can be. It's hard to not be excited.
And you make a great point there. That basically you have all these building blocks that are required before some of these projects can reach their full potential. So, for instance, liquidity pools on Dexter, you need a stable coin, right? And you need a lot of the stable coin in circulation to help provide liquidity into those pools. So it is just a steady approach, and you see the progression being made every day. It gives you reason to stay excited. And you have the governance proposals, maybe once every 3 months and once every 4 months that completely change the protocol at its core layer, providing greater efficiency. So there is just so much to remain excited about. But I am really excited about what you've been doing with the Tezos India Foundation and Tezos India. If you could just dive into a little bit about how you began growing that community around Tezos India, how it became a name in India, and sort of who you are consulting through that entity.
Right. So just I'll give a brief overview of how we started, and then maybe I can share my screens to, I have some slides prepared there if you can go ahead with that. So Tezos India, we started with basic community events. So we did 2 experimental events. Before us, the Commons had also done one event here in India. So that was also cool. That was also really exciting. We did one university event as well. And the first event that we did in university, there was turnout of 86 people first day on the workshop and 76 people on second day. It was on Saturday and Sunday. This was held. And then we thought, okay, there's this hunger in this young developers who wants to learn about this new blockchain, this new industry, or this new technology that is coming about. And we saw some issues that why in undergraduate or just recently graduate developers, there hasn't been any a good amount of education regarding blockchain. Because there was just not enough resources, or there was lack of resources, and there were lack of, let's say, mentors, and this like entire logistic issues. And we thought, okay, if we tap into here, we don't have to we don't have to start with, let's say, give training to some big companies, or start knocking on doors of some big developer hubs. We can just start simple. We can just start now with going to universities, and in universities you have these coding clubs. I'm sure every university has one, and these are totally run by students. They do hackathons and they do bunch of exciting stuff. And we just approach them that, hey guys, we are gonna we are gonna teach you about blockchain, not Tezos, but we're gonna teach you about blockchain, and then we are gonna tell you how to write smart contracts on blockchain, which are gonna be on Tezos. So that was our approach, blockchain 101, and then we teach them Tezos. That's how it started our events. And then for the general community, for the general blockchain community, when we started the blockchain community, it was not that vast. It was very tight. So we had good network there, and started doing some community events, and started connecting people and giving them regular information about what is going on with Tezos. So these were the basic approaches that we took, and then we kept building on top of these steps. So maybe I'll share my screen, and if you want to discuss about anything else or anything specific, you can just stop me right there, because in the slide there are many things, including fellowship, demos, and all this stuff.
Right. Yeah, we do want to touch on the fellowship program and the Tezos India Hackathon as well. But if you want to bring up those slides, this might be a good point to start reviewing what you have for material. And I just want to note that it was a great strategy on your part to start by attracting more of a mass community by teaching about just general blockchain topics, not at first specifically Tezos, but you drew a larger crowd in with a more overlapping topic. And then you drilled down specifically into Tezos after the fact, once you had that big audience ready to listen. So great strategy on your point. It's something that I've used here in Boston before, and I see other groups in the Tezos ecosystem using it as well. So that's something that can be replicated if there's a new group watching that wants to begin onboarding developers.
So just an overview about Tezos India Fellowship, what it is and how the idea came about. So before we started Tezos India, we had done a hackathon, Tez India Hackathon. So we have plans. We have planned to do one or two hackathon, bigger hackathon in India every year. That is called Tez India, and then we. After the feedback and after the learnings of Tez India, we started Tezos India Fellowship. So these are the two events that will keep happening. So after having done all those university events and having taught all these students how to build on Tezos, the next part was to how to incentivize them and how to give them an opportunity to showcase their skills. So then we did Tez India Hackathon, and like in most of the hackathons, or when you are doing it the first time, we had a good amount of entries, but at the end, there was a lot of projects, but we didn't see plenty of projects to be submitted, completely at the end of it. But there were some cool projects as well. There were 5 to 6 projects which were cool, totally built on Tezos, and then we sat with them, we discussed with them, what could be better, and what is something in Tezos community or in tooling you would want to see. So we got feedback like dedicated mentorship, and more specific approach towards tooling, because some people are familiar with, let's say, OCaml, some are familiar with, let's say, Python. So giving them some sort of direction. So these basic stuff, and also by that time, what Tez India did for us was to get a name in the universities and in the education, in the education area, that Tezos India is now doing these events or in hackathons or programs where you can participate and you can showcase your skills, and you can win some prizes, and you can benefit from it. So then we thought of then we got all the feedbacks, and we thought there is something really cool program that goes on in India, which is Google Summer of Code, and India is very Indian students are one of the biggest participants in Google Summer of Code. And then we wanted to replicate Google Summer of Code kind of program into something specific to Tezos. So that's what Tezos India is, where you have 8 weeks to build a full functioning project on testnet. Mainly, it was supposed to be on testnet, where everything should be functioning from front end to back end to smart contracts, everything. And you would have dedicated mentors who you can ping anytime, and they will sit with you, they will debug your issues, and you will have all kinds of support that you would want, but it will be an intensive program, and you would have to probably code 6 to 8 hours a day, or maybe more than that. That was the idea behind the India Fellowship. So in numbers, if we talk about this time, we set a specific stipend for every project, and we made it sort of exclusive. So we distributed applications all around our network of universities in India, and we got 1,400 plus applications. But we wanted to keep it on the theme of Google Summer of Code, so we wanted first code to be very special and exclusive. And then, given our resources, we took 10. We selected 10 candidates, and these guys had some good incentive, like from 1,500 US dollar stipends to stay motivated and get something good out of this program. Then we had these 10 fellows, and we just gave them some an empty canvas that come up with your ideas. Whatever ideas you have, everybody should have at least 2 ideas. It could be anything. It could be NFT, DeFi, or tooling. Everything is open, and you guys have free space. Then we got and even if you want to group up with someone, you can also do any project combined. Then we got 7 ideas, where we got 7 ideas, and 1 or 2 or 3 of them were in group like. So after that, we had the mentors ready. So from Teshio team, from Cryptonomic team, and Teshio team, they are based in India, so it was like 24/7. Cryptonomic team is also pretty much active around the night because it's New York time. So that was really helpful in Breaking Bad, and everybody smart by. Everybody was helping these fellows to build their stuff. So let's dive into kind of project that we built. So this is CryptDays. CryptDays is it was about the time when IPL was about to start. It's like Champions League of cricket, and some Shubham, the fellow's name is Shubham. He built an NFT-based fantasy cricket league. So here, what you can do is each one of your cricket player is an NFT card, and then you build your team, and depending upon the live score of the match, the real performance of that player, the score goes high and low, and then you can trade them on real marketplace. So this was a really cool project, and which is really nice UI. It was built completely from front end, back end. It's smart contracts ready.
That's super interesting. Super interesting, the fact that they're using NFTs to represent the players and have the stats aligned with just that singular player. So there's no duplication of player stats, right? There's a uniqueness to having each player on the team. And I think, you're really taking a stab at a mainstream market, especially in India, where cricket is, for those of you who don't know watching, is basically like the NFL in America, right? It's the number one sport. You have, probably billions of fans of cricket. And this is really cool for me to see. I can already hope that other projects will make an NFL version of this here in America, so I could play along and understand. But that's a great example of how NFTs are being used out of this fellowship program.
Yeah, and the good thing was, we didn't. We were telling these fellows that you need to complete your project, and it should be very live stage ready and stuff like that. But even we were aware that the amount of efforts they put in. All APIs are connecting. The data is being fetched from Oracle from live matches, and they are using FA2 standards for NFTs, and they are created entire front end within just 8 to 10 weeks. So still, they each one of fellow built some really good project. Then there was a betting pool. This is more like, you could say, pool together on Ethereum, where you choose a random number, and depending upon its backend logic, a random winner is chosen. So whoever is pulled, I pulled 10 Tezos, and 100 other people have pulled 10 Tezos, and 1,000 Tezos, 1,000 Tezos goes to a winner who is chosen randomly. It's something like pool together. Then this is this. Yeah, please.
Sorry. I think a lot of our community will like that. I think inherently people like to bet in the cryptocurrency community. So I think that's something that people watching should definitely check out, and maybe they'll be a lucky winner.
Yeah, definitely. These projects are, we have all the submission links there. Some of them, if something doesn't work, or if we also did a demo of all these projects when they were all live. But we are going to be working with these fellows in coming months to have at least a minimal viable version on mainnet going on, where community can interact, and they can do whatever they want, just to have a basic feel of it. Then this is DaySquare. It's also a very interesting project. I really like this project. It is similar to Gitcoin on Ethereum, which is a CLR matching platform governed by a DAO. It had a DAO. It had any individual could contribute to the projects, and they can fund the projects, and the companies or the startups can also be part of it to give grants for debugging in their projects. It's a very big project and really amazing one, and it's really nice to see the governance happening in the real system, like voting and DAO like structure. I can maybe give a demo of this project later on.
Yeah, definitely. We look forward to the demo. You did mention that you will be demoing one of these projects. So if that's the one, we will announce the keyword for the Ledger Nano S giveaway right before you demo that project you mentioned. So for the audience listening, stay tuned and keep those ears open for the keyword.
Then another interesting project was token subscription. So this project is about, you have a Netflix subscription and you have to pay, let's say, $5 to $10 every month. But how do we make it possible in a blockchain or in a decentralized app? So because every time you have to open your Thano, so sign the transaction, accept the transaction. So what this solution does is you give it's sort of you pre-approved the amount that can be spent on subscription, and then for recurring subscription, it keeps deducting that amount given according to the time frame. So it's like recurring subscription for set and forget token transfers. The concept can be called replayable transactions. It is similar to an EIP. I'm not sure what is it, but similar to one Ethereum improvement proposal. And
real quick, what could that be used for? Would it be something like trading, set and forgetting token transfers?
It could be anything. So let's say we have it. I mean, let's say there's a streaming, or let's say there's a prediction market, and I want to bet every minute, but I'm not available every minute to sit on the desk, right? So I have to bet in, let's say, TZBTC only. Then I'll set the token here. I think, and also other thing is I can also give a demo, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it completely because I'm not the one that built this. But the thing is, if you are a publisher, you can get a link out of this project and you can embed that into your website. It could be your streaming service, or it could be your blog or anything. And every month you want to pay 5 days for reading that blog, it will keep deducting automatically from your Daysbridge wallet every month. And you won't have to pay the gas. Gas is going to be paid by the publisher who has created this contract. If anybody is interested, we do have sort of a video for a video. When you go to this link here, you can see it is based on EIP 1337, and you can see the video and you can see it, going live. So if anybody wants to dive deeper into this project, you can please feel free to check out this link we have given, if their GitHub, their app.
Yeah, that's interesting. We'll be sure to include that link in the description below as well, in case anyone wants to check that out.
So another cool project is TrueSwap. It's truly decentralized atomic swap exchange. When I say truly decentralized, it is truly decentralized because there is no backend server going on which is doing the order matching or something like that. So what happens here is it's a atomic swap exchange from ETH to Tezos. Again, anybody who wants to try it out or see the video, they can follow this link and see the video how it happens in the real time. And it uses SmartPy. Most all of these projects are built using SmartPy because Python is one of the biggest popular language in India in developer community. So for people it's really easy. I mean, no efforts at all to, get started with SmartPy. Then we have Tizori. So for funding, we had two kind of ideas, and both of them tried their own approaches. So first one we saw was Day2F for community grants funding, and it's an idea like Gitcoin. And here the idea behind Tizori is you create some small DAOs. So we create a DAO, and then other three they create a DAO, and using that DAO they invest in certain projects. All right, it could be project A, it could be project B, it could be project T, and and you know and then you get some tokens for those projects, some sort of binding agreement between those projects that whenever they achieve some milestones, you get some tokens. It's basically that kind of idea. It's a multiple DAO managed project funding. This is also a really cool one. And then another word was Vikalp. Vikalp means options. So here what you do is you buy put options actually. Put options is, if you want to hedge the risk against your Tezos token volatility, Tez volatility, then you can buy put options, and you can also provide liquidity for selling those put options. It was a really cool idea, and it showed this project showed the entire structure again in a very early stage, but it was very, very nice effort and very well functioning project. And this kind of project, so what I'm saying here in Vikalp, in this project, what was assumed is they took a token A and they assumed that token A is a stable coin, because you won't build entire stable coins just for that fellowship. But this kind of projects like options, and that will become possible, and that will become more efficient, like derivatives on Tezos. Once the DeFi primitives are out, such as stable coins, and there's more liquidity and stuff like that. So these were these major 7 projects that were built during the entire fellowship session. So for these fellows, what's next is, and all of these fellows, they are either undergraduate, or they are going to be graduate or they are recently graduate. 1 or 2 of them are recently graduate. Most of them are going to graduate in 6 months, and some of them are going to graduate in 1.5 years. So this was all done by them, and and a really good support from all our mentors who are located in India, and also all over the world. And we had and these fellows, they were initially, we were holding their hands, and we were telling them where to go, what are the directions, and what tools to use. And within the period of 2 weeks, these fellows were interacting with all the community developers on their own, with SmartPy team, with Cryptonomic team, with Pecking Bag, with Medfish teams, for whatever issue they were having. And they were also reporting any bugs that they were facing in the tools and the languages, or anything that they were using. And that was the end goal. And everybody really liked them. They really liked interacting with the Tezos community, and they all of them are really excited to be a part of it, and build further on what they've built during the fellowship, in the fellowship.
Yeah, and I, as a member of the Tezos community myself, we can't thank you enough for organizing the Tezos India Fellowship Program, where you actually had people building, fully decentralized applications in some instances, where you hear a lot of commentary online, with these random Twitter accounts saying that no one's building on Tezos. Well, it's just, you got to look a little deeper here. This is a great example of an onboarding program for developers. And now you're saying that they're almost self-sufficient when they come out of the program. They're able to communicate with the SmartPy team, communicate with whatever mentor they might have had. And it's a self-sufficient prophecy at that point, where they're able to just maybe build the next application from there, build another one, right? So it's, what you're doing is you're laying a road for others to travel. And again, we just can't thank you enough for showing us what you guys have done in the first year, and we're so excited to see what comes in the years going forward. So congratulations on the great success so far, and let's get into the next topic here. So you also have something really exciting to share in regards to the Tezos India Hackathon. So if you want to dive into that.
Yeah, sure. So for Tezos India Hackathon, after the end of this having done one hackathon and having done this fellowship, then now we are gonna go, with deeper roots of this coding clubs and students run coding societies. So what we are gonna do is we are gonna be supporting multiple hackathons in coming year, more than 50 or 60 student run hackathons where they are going to get Tezos track, and they are going to get an opportunity to build on top of Tezos and win amazing prizes such as merch and some prize monies. And they will have and direct support or direct window to mentors, whoever they want to discuss with their issues or debug their issues, and to get some advice about how to build their project on top of Tezos. So that's what we are calling the uh, Tezos India Hackathon season. And we haven't put any blog posts or any announcement till now. It's in the works, and it will be live very soon. We will start keeping all the hackathons live, and we start posting about whatever hackathons is running live right now on our social media handles, I guess, within 1 to 1.5 months.
Yeah, so you said about 60 student run hackathons. About how many people do you estimate that reaching and getting to all these developers?
So the idea is, there's not you, there's not a specific numbers, but you could say that each hackathon generally at least have more than 30 to 40 submissions in different categories, or sometimes you also see 10 to 15 in blockchain type submissions. So first of all, the thing is, having all the developers, no matter what blockchain they are building, or what technology they are using, getting familiar with Tezos, because they also get a chance to attend Tezos workshop or go through Tezos materials and get help regarding Tezos. So it's about so usually, generally, when hackathon happens, you have AI track, you have blockchain track, you have IoT track, and all of these people will be given a chance to learn about Tezos and know more about it. And then there would be the amount of people who really want to build something on top of blockchain, and they will get and they will be given support and prizes for building on top of Tezos, and mentorship if they are facing any issues, and workshops as well if needed. Uh, so I think it's gonna be a lot bigger. We we have this hackathon season is gonna, we are saying 50 to 60, but it also could go to more than 80 hackathons. And these are mini hackathons. We are not talking about, let's say, some big hackathons. The student runs hackathon, general prize money is around $200 or something. And all they have to do is, get a really nice idea and build on top of Tezos, and then present to us. And if we see any good ideas, which is something really worth taking forward, then we also support them in further guidance, and to giving them further resources that how they can keep building on top of that.
Yeah, that sounds pretty exciting. In terms of how they're being ran, are you guys using sites like DevPost, or what's being used for that?
We use, are you talking about the platform, or how we are
Yeah.
reaching them? Okay. So our developer outreach partner is DevFolio, and they have really good approach to 20,000 plus blockchain developer community, and they also organize Asia's biggest blockchain hackathon, which is ETH India. And we are also tapping Ethereum community is really big in India. I guess you can find almost every blockchain developer to be familiar with Ethereum, and our goal is to having all of those developers who are familiar with Ethereum to also get familiar with Tezos by taking these kind of approaches.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. In terms of getting familiar with Tezos, could you talk about maybe kind of what the developer hub is like in India? You know, what's the most, I guess, popular language? And how are
Okay.
you, and also to add on to that, how are you approaching getting some of these developers more friendly with Tezos?
Yeah. So in terms of development hub, usual technical hubs are Bangalore, which is called Silicon Valley of India, and there are a lot of engineering colleges here. Then we have Delhi and Gurgaon, which are just near capital. That is second biggest hub. Then there's Mumbai, which is also a big hub. Chennai. So we have identified 6 to 7 hubs actually, where you can find a lot of developers, good amount of developers, good amount of universities, and then with our community partners and our developer community partners who already have outreach to all these certain zones, we collaborate with them, and then we whenever we organize these kind of events, be it fellowship, be it any sort of hackathons, we push we push these events to them, and we invite them to apply to such events. And when we are talking about developer hubs, so what kind of developers or the languages they use, so India itself has, I think, millions of, I'm not sure really about the numbers, but uh, a lot of developers in Python. So the biggest developer community in India are two: JavaScript and Python, and rest of all the communities are not that big comparatively. So as far as we have seen, everybody is usually aware about Python, or they have knowledge about Python. And then we tell them, if you want to write smart contracts in Python on Tezos, then use SmartPy. And as per our experience, by just and also the resources that we have, like Crypto Code School, Cryptoverse Boss, where you can learn SmartPy within hours if you already know basics of Python. That gets them going on writing basic smart contracts of Tezos within a day. From what we have observed. And then those who most of these applicants that we see, who they are already familiar with the blockchain, who have done something with Hyperledger or some other blockchain platform. So for them, it's a bit easier to onboard on Tezos, because the tooling is pretty much same, and interface of Paketo is also very similar to Web3.js and Ethereum. So just some basic concepts, and they get more going on building applications on Tezos. But for those who have never been, who have never been introduced to blockchain, for them we take a different approach. Like, we teach them what is blockchain. We teach them, what is Tezos, and start them with very basics. So for those kind of developers, we run mostly education program, and for those who are already familiar with blockchain, we encourage them to build on top of Tezos, and that happens through our community partners. And as I mentioned, like our partner Devfolio, who has uh, fragmented every zone and every developer hub based on certain reasons, that how which are the people who already knows blockchain, which are the people who don't know blockchain. So that's the general approach that we do.
Yeah, and also, would you mind going a bit deeper into kind of what that training looks like?
Yeah, sure. So first day is usually block. So we have given it name blockchain 101 with Tezos. So
Mhm.
first day we usually go into concepts of uh, basic, what is money, what is Bitcoin, what is blockchain. We teach them what is blockchain. These workshops are usually uh, could be up to 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours a day, and we clear the entire concept of what is Bitcoin, what is blockchain, and we end up giving them basic idea about what are smart contracts, what is Tezos, and then we give them, so we also give them some sort of links and videos to watch when they go home. basic, Theos introduction videos, what are smart contracts, stuff like that. Then the next day they come up. We teach them basics of how can you write smart contracts in Python on Tezos. So we take everyone through the live session that we are writing code. Everybody is writing the code, and we are explaining basics of what is the entry point, and how the transactions are being happening on Tezos. Just the basics. So you don't have to explain the entire what's going behind the scene, or how proof of stake is working, and all that kind of stuff. What our goal is that within 2 days, students should be able to know what are smart contracts, and they should be able to write smart contracts in SmartPy. And then we leave them at a point where we take them with our hands-on practice that this is how you write smart contracts in Python, and we clear their doubts. And 2 days are not sufficient for this much amount of information, but we tell them, if whenever you have any doubt, we have those India Developers Telegram channel. You can feel free to join in. You can ask us any doubts whenever you want. And then the reason why those students or developers should stay in Tezos and keep learning more about the concept of this, because we then tell them that now that we have given you the workshop, we are also very active in terms of developer activities. So we have done fellowship, we have done Tezos India hackathon. We are also going to be doing a lot more hackathons. So now if you keep yourself in loop with Tezos, and you keep learning more from what we have taught you so far, you can make you can benefit from the events and developer activities that we do organize. Then we also take some examples, like fellowship, how these people have made some really good projects. Because for students, what matters most is first thing is experience, and they are really amateur developers. They need mentorship, and then they also want to they also want to build something cool project and get something out of it. It could be prize monies, or it could be some sort of participation or recognition, and that's the entire funnel that we try to put them into.
You have a demo of one of the fellowship projects here. This is a live demo of something that was created out of your fellowship programs.
So this project is built by 3 fellows, Anshu Jalan, Jash Mitchell, and Kunal Shekhar. And hopefully, maybe these guys will keep working on refining it a bit more, and maybe with a few months we will be seeing this project going live. But just to give you guys an idea, this is as it mentioned, crowdfunding for public goods with CLR matching. What is CLR is it's capital constrained liberal radicalism, and a brief summary is designed for philanthropic or publicly funded seeding to allow near optimal provision of decentralized self-organizing ecosystem of public goods. So it's like those who are already familiar with Ethereum ecosystem, it's something similar to Gitcoin, but also difference in the way it is governed. So here, this is a landing page, and what you can see is you can go to browse projects, and you can see which are the projects up there for for funding or for contribution. And then you can click on any project. Maybe I'll click on TezSwap, and I can see their links and all. And I see that I've already contributed to this project amount to Tezos, right? And there you can see the contribution. Then I'll try to contribute in a different project. So I can go here, and let's say I want to contribute to Tezos. It will take me to Thanos. By the way, this contribution is done using CLR matching formula. It's an algorithm which is implementing the smart contracts. So when there are plenty of contributors, it runs through that mechanism, and that's how it decides how much of amount to be funded to the project. So
quick question. I don't know if you've covered this, but I just wanted to ask: are all these projects you're showing, are they currently live on mainnet?
Yeah, this is live on testnet, not on my mainnet,
testnet,
but on Delphinet. Yeah. So the transaction does, and we have contributed to this account. And now, as a project, let's say if I want to, if I want to seek some funding from community, or any stakeholders that are part of it, then I can go there. I can put project based title, description, website, Twitter handle, and all the basic information, and then I can confirm my entry, and then this project will be listed here, and we can and community can vote on whatever project they like. And let's say you are a company, you are, let's say, X company, and you want to sponsor a funding round, for your tooling, where people can build using your tooling, or they can debug or anything that you want to put there. Then you can put your name here, and you can put the amount of Tezos you want to put there, and you can do something like. So as a sponsor, so let's say tomorrow, if Tezos Commons wants to sponsor a project, then they can also they would also be able to do that, apart from only being individuals contributors having able to do that. I think I saw some error here, so we are going to move ahead. And then you have the archives, where you can see all the projects which had completed the funding. So here you can see received 10 Tezos from a total of 1 contribute, and what was this final CRL match. So this happens through CLR matching algorithm, and I have a link I can maybe share later. And the idea behind most of these projects is also live on Tezos Agora. So those who wants to know more about Tez2F, they can go on Tezos Agora. There's live discussions there, and then you can also get to know more about the project in detail. And then this second, the coolest thing about here is that individuals can also contribute here. So corporations or companies or startups can also contribute here to specific projects. But then to govern this entire platform, then you have the governance module. You go to governance, and then you can pre-approve any amount of tokens to be spending on your behalf in terms of DAO functioning. And here you can see these tokens are my governance tokens. These are not Tez tokens, so my balance is 249 governance tokens. And then you can go to executive proposals, where you basically decide when to open a funding round, right? So if you are familiar with Gitcoin, there's also a procedure of to start a funding round 1, start a funding round 2. It's like a session or a phase or a period where you start a funding round, and for a certain amount of time it will keep going on, and people will keep contributing, projects will keep applying that we want, these are the stuff that we want to build, and that's why we want to be funded. You can do it quarterly, you can do it monthly, based on how you decide based on your governance. So here, proposal to conduct funding round 1 was concluded. 7 people voted, then 2, 5 people voted, and 3. This is something that I have recently set up, and this is an ongoing proposal, and it will this round will be held from 5 to 06, and it's waiting for more votes. And so now I had already voted 1 vote here, so I can also execute this proposal. This is something that I've already done before taking this demo to set up this proposal.
So to be clear here, the Tez that we're seeing being given to the projects, this is a testnet version of Tez, or is this the mainnet version of Tez?
It's testnet.
Okay.
Nothing is on mainnet yet.
Okay.
After Delphi, it would be very easy for this project to go live on mainnet, because it's a complex project, a lot of gas, and gas tools, and it will become much cheaper in terms of transaction and gases for this project to operate, right? So I have executed the proposal, and now I can list this round. And before that, you were able to see previously funding round 1, funding round 2, funding round 3 is ongoing, and now I can list this round. And when the round is listed, a new phase will start. So here I get, and getting some error maybe. But yeah, as I said, this is a DAO like structure. So we before this demo we have recently tweaked some parameters. So because previously for the demo there has to be 3 or 4 people to keep voting, and but now we have tweaked the parameters so that only I can vote as a single person. There might be some issues that we're facing. The other thing is dispute settlement. So let's say if I want to set up a dispute, there's this project testware where you are following his GitHub and you are not seeing any activity, then you think that it was not worth really, it shouldn't be funded, or there's some red flags. Then you can write some reasons, so you can put some relevant links and you can give some description, and then you have to stake your governance tokens, and then have to confirm the transactions, and then this dispute will be raised, and after that, in the governance section, all the people who are a member of DAO, they can vote if to settle this dispute, that should we fund this project or not. So this is the basic idea of this project. And again, whoever is interested in getting the full picture behind it, in the Medium blog, there is a link where you can check out the GitHub, you can check out the video, and to any developers out there, if you have any anything valuable to add, you can feel free to pull out a GitHub request, or any comments, or feel free to raise any issues. So
definitely a good call to action from the community here is come on, get to that Medium article, click the link to this project, and start playing around on the testnet with it. See if you can provide any feedback, suggestions, or upgrades that may be relevant. Definitely want to see more involvement here. It doesn't cost you anything at this point. It's on the testnet, so you can obtain some testnet XDZ to play around with all the different rounds here.
Yeah, so I raised the dispute, and as I'm the only governance guy here, these are just some parameters. This entry was disqualified for that project. So that also makes sure that projects are generic, and they are what they are pretend to be, and they keeps getting funded. So this was a brief overview of how this platform works. It has DAO functioning behind it. You can you can propose new funding rounds, and then you can, as an individual or as an organization, you can go and browse projects, and you can go through the information, and you can, let's say if you want to fund any gaming project, you can go there and you can contribute to that project. And as many number of people are there, then the project is funded based on CLR matching, and that's how this entire platform works. And the great thing is that you can think of so many things happening here. So there is a DAO contract, there is token contracts, they are interacting with each other, and then there is contribution is happening. You have this entire front end ready, and then there are some, like, there's a front end, back end, smart contracts interacting with each other, and all of this being built within a matter of 8 to 10 weeks, when these undergraduate students are just being introduced to Tezos for the first time. And that's what this program was all about. And now when they are finished with this fellowship, they have built a full-fledged product, and they are polished Tezos engineers who are able to build amazing things on top of Tezos.
Yeah, this is definitely exciting to see that your program, the fellowship program, is basically, this is the proof right here that what you've laid out works. People are actually in this 8-week window creating a viable MVP product. So really interesting stuff. And just to wrap up our great interview here with you today, I wanted to touch on some topics that may not be exactly Tezos specific, but they are specific to India. Those being the India banking ban and the demonetization that happened within the past few years. If you could just maybe give us some insights as to how the landscape is right now in India on those topics.
Yeah, so a year and a half ago, I think, so after, I guess around 2018, Supreme Court, not Supreme Court, but RBI, which is Reserve Bank of India, circulated this disclaimer and telling banks to to not do any transactions in cryptocurrencies or not to deal with anything related to cryptocurrencies. And it was a banking ban. So what that means is, you cannot withdraw your cryptocurrencies to your bank account. And a lot of people took it for general cryptocurrency ban in India, but it never was cryptocurrency ban because as per the current rules and regulations, it's hard to regulate it. And if you cannot regulate it, you cannot just ban it. So you were able to trade peer to peer. You were able to do OTC and all the other medium of exchange, but you were not able to withdraw your cryptocurrency in your bank account. So that was the gist of banking bans, which also a lot of media articles around the globe and in India itself raised as cryptocurrency ban, which was not really good reporting, or you could say. And after that, the crypto community or the blockchain community in India, they filed a case against RBI to the Supreme Court, which is the biggest, biggest court in India, independent of government of India. And I guess in February or January, the crypto community won, and RBI told Supreme Court told RBI that even if you did ban only banking, that was also not your thing to do. And based on current rules and regulation, it is not your duty to do. So you have to lift up that ban. And they lifted the ban. And around February or March, then the corona came into the picture. Lockdown started. So this entire movement of cryptocurrency and blockchain got a very positive momentum, right? Because this news was making rounds everywhere in all news articles, in all media houses, that cryptocurrencies are no longer banned. I mean, it was only a banking ban, but cryptocurrencies are no longer banned. Then now, the crypto community in general, exchanges saw more than 500% growth during this lockdown time, and people have started explore, the technology behind it during these times. So, and it was not only about the ban. Even after the ban, after the banking ban, the fundamental activities were going on to keep the community growing, to keep the activities going on, and all the people in the blockchain ecosystem in India were all working really hard to spread as much awareness as they can, to spread as much education they can. And we, as a part of Tezos India, we were also doing a lot of events and education, and we were teaching people about everything from Tezos to also, removing their misconceptions that it's not illegal or banned to buy anything or hold anything or stake anything. And eventually the result came into the favor of crypto community, and now uh, many brilliant projects are coming out of India, and it is and even the regulators and government are watching very closely about how to regulate this space. The demonetization thing is that is very important here in this picture, because what happened in demonetization was, and that's actually makes sense for the entire general for all of us who are into the space, in the blockchain space. We are dealing with, we are very excited about Bitcoin and Tezos and cryptocurrencies. What happened during demonetization was suddenly I was sitting in a room and I was watching news, and suddenly Prime Minister comes on TV, and he said, after 8 p.m. tonight, all the notes, all the 500 and 1,000 rupees notes will be invalid. You have to go to bank and extend them for new notes. And it created chaos in the entire country. And and that shows the kind of move that government can take overnight. I mean, they had their own reasons to to remove the black money and to get the entire data about who holds how much amount of money, and how much currency is in circulation. They had their own motives. But that was the time I also felt personally that this is not the right thing to do. I mean, and there was a time when, to change my current notes that I had, to convert them into new notes, I had to walk like 5 to 6 kilometers to an ATM, because no other ATM had cash. I just woke up late. I woke up 8 a.m. in the morning. I should have woke up 4 a.m. in the morning, because people were in the line since then. And that was the time, and I was like, the digital payment infrastructure really needs to step up in India. And before even the cryptocurrencies and blockchain, I've been following the general startup space in India for a good amount of time, for last 7-8 years. And the the digital payment revolution, you could say, in India was just about the corner, and this demonetization step, boosted the growth. And now you have United Payment Interface in India, for micro payments, where it doesn't cost any money, any transaction fees for general transfers between banks to banks. And then it also opened up possibilities for cryptocurrencies back then, that cryptocurrencies could also be a very valuable store of value during these times, or also for transacting with each other, for payments, for micro payments, and for remittance, and all this kind of stuff. These were all the problems that were seen during this demonetization phase. And I was already in this space, and I thought, for all these things, a good programmable money could make sense, and removes much of these problems. So yeah, that was about demonetization. And now, after that hard step, you could see every small vendor taking digital payments now. And digital payment infrastructure in India has boosted a lot in last couple of years, and that also enables a really good gateway for innovations such as cryptocurrencies to be embedded into the current financial structure.
Yeah, that's some really amazing insights on what the landscape of cryptocurrency and the demonetization that happened within India. And I'm sure there are a lot of people that have more questions that want to follow up with you. And I just wanted to highlight that Tezos India has become the go-to for hiring Tezos developers, right? So this is a transition that you plan on making on your website, right? Going forward, that if there's a need to hire a Tezos developer, reach out to you, Om, and Tezos India.
Yeah, so anybody in the community, or any startup, or anybody around the world, if they wants to hire any Tezos developers, or just be part of any developer activities we do, feel free to reach out to us, and we are happy to collaborate and do some activities together. And we have done with some many amazing community teams and developer partners so far during a couple of activities that we have done.
Well, this has been an amazing episode, and we did gain valuable insights as to all the activities going on with Tezos India. And if anyone wants to follow up, again, the Twitter handle is @IndiaTezos, and there's also a @HackTezos handle to follow up with as well. And then you guys have the website, obviously, is tezosindia.foundation. So again, this was a wonderful episode. We have Malviya, the director at Tezos India Foundation. We have William Mackenzie and myself, Ken Garofalo, as the host. If you guys want to find more information on Tezos Commons, you can go over to tezoscommons.org. You can even go to tezoscommons.org/TezTalks to find more information on our upcoming schedule of guests. Thank you for watching, guys. Until next time, take care.